We made some applesauce. And we canned a whole bunch of apples as well in light syrup. So we got apple streusel and apple cake. Lots of stuff with apples. This one's really good. That one we haven't tried yet. And from the juice, we're making a little bit of apple wine. I've got a whole nother bucket of apple wine fermenting right down here. So we'll have some apple wine. And I still got a few apples left to process, and hopefully after that it'll be done for us, but we still feed the animals every day with apples. We still have some on the tree too. As you can see, there's still a whole bunch of apples on the tree as well. Here's something I found at the flea market today. A scythe. Been wanting one for a long time. Found one. $5. Awesome. This year's garden was a flop. I didn't really get time to weed it, to do anything. We just planted stuff, put a fence around it and a net on top of it and left it be, and then I just never really got back to it. Of course, things are growing, they're growing wild, and I just harvested everything I possibly could. Now I need to clean it up, ready for next year, and so I looked around and found a crew that will actually clean this stuff up as good as they can for free. And I called on them, and there they are. There's Itty cleaning up the corn. And we got Frosty and Pan over there. They are finishing up the, I'm not sure what they're eating right there. Tomato plants? No, they don't like the tomato plants. But they do like the cantaloupe plants, and of course the corn and some of the other big weeds that we have in here, like the plantain, a lot of dandelions. We have a lot of other big weeds in here. They do leave the tomatoes alone. So I guess either they don't like them or maybe they're not good for them. I've never seen them eat tomato plants anyway, which is fine. But you can see all the corn stalks. They're going to be the big favorite right there. They're going to eat all them away instead of just pulling them out. I'll just let them browse through it. Maybe they can dig up the earth a little bit with it. I can go in there with the tiller and get that all tilled over for the spring. So we just had some new baby chicks hatch, and just to make sure that they're healthy, I have these vitamin E gel caps that I will split open and drop it on their food. And then we have a little bit of selenium. Those are these tablets here. They're just crushed with some B12 vitamin tablets. And of course we have some protein shakes, a little powder that we can mix in their food to get them going. This B complex, these are gummies. I put them inside a small piece of apple for the emus, and I can also crush this B complex vitamin. They're just capsules, actually tablets. So they get plenty of vitamins, minerals, things that they need. Let's go ahead and put some of this into the baby food. So what just happened today is I came in here and I didn't see her sitting on the eggs, but I heard some peeping. So I looked under the hay right here, and there was a baby chick sitting there, but she wasn't in the nest, and the eggs were still warm, so I'm pretty sure she was around. But what I did is I took that baby out and gave it to her. She lost one today. It was kind of hanging around. It wasn't going to walk anymore, and I put it in the incubator to warm up, but it didn't make it. So I just took that one out, and she instantly took it under her wing. So she has one of her babies right now. Now the thing with her is that was probably her original egg that she sat on that hatched, because I didn't know she was broody for a few days. So what I then did, once I found out she was broody, I added eggs. So theirs will be hatching at a later date. So hopefully she's got 3 more under her that they're all hatched together here soon, and that one was a premature hatch. And it's kind of good that she doesn't have it, because I think she would want to get up and walk around and abandon the rest of the eggs. So we're going to see if that works. For now, she's taking good care of the little baby that I found. And I will put the vitamin E in some of the water and some of the food that they've been eating. Also these chicks here, let me see if I can get most of them. They're all in that baby coop. We opened the doors now. They're all old enough to, that's my flycatcher thing. They're old enough to come out and eat with the bigger chicks, and you can see that they're all outside. They're having a good time. Now at night, they go back into their coop over there, and I do shut the door. We have an automatic coop door on this barn door here, so when I shut this at night, that door there is an automatic coop door that shuts depending on the amount of lumens that the sun gives off. You can set that depending on what you want it, or when you want it to shut down. Now I haven't had my broody guinea fowl sit on any of the eggs she's laid, so I've taken 12 of them away, put them in the incubator, and she's laid every day, so I've got another 6 or 7 eggs in there. I might have to end up taking those away too, just to make sure that, I don't know if she's going to actually hatch them. The ducks sit on them at night, and they've broken a couple of them, which is odd because they're very tough-shelled. Let's go ahead and feed some vitamins and minerals to these guys. So right now, I just put a little bit of food in that bowl there, and be dropping some of this in there. And I'll even leave the big old pill in there because Mama will probably eat that one. There she goes. She just ate the gel cap that's full of vitamins. She gave it to one of her babies. I think it's going to be a little bit too big for that baby, but it's trying to kill it. It's going after it. And then, of course, a little bit of selenium. Now, selenium they get when they're broody as well, because the adults need it before the babies actually do. So for them to be healthy, the adults actually need some selenium. So I'll just throw some powder in there, mix it up a little bit. Mama eats it, baby eats it, and they're all good to go. So that's how we avoid wryneck. Now make sure that when you give selenium, the older chickens need that too, because if it's in their system, it's less likely that the babies will get it too. So the babies need to come out healthy with that selenium given to the mother before they even hatch. So while she's producing that egg, for her to have the selenium, it helps the chick a lot to get through the first few weeks without any problems of wryneck. And of course the vitamin E helps, so they always get a little bit of vitamin E. I have B complexes, which they don't have any. They have B12 in there. I mixed that with the selenium. You can see they're going at it, and there's the that fluffy one is the one that hatched for the other chick over here, but she has taken to it. She's gone ahead and taken on that chick like a champ. She has grown up into a big buff Brahma chick. She's still a baby, and she's still, every night we have to put her away. She roosts with the goats. The problem with her is she likes to roost on the ground, and that's not where I want her to sit, because she roosts right at the door. And that's not a place that you want to be sitting at night when the raccoons walk in the barn. So every night I have to take her and put her here in the coop, because she doesn't like to go in this coop for some reason. These babies all go back in. They're now starting to eat. And see if you can guess who this one is. Can you guess who the daddy is? Yeah, I think I know who the daddy is. Let's go visit his dad. Where'd he go? Well, his dad is Igor. A lot of times I just call him Muppet. There he is. There's Igor. My Igor, that's his daddy. You can obviously tell, it looks just like him. He's the daddy. And then of course I got all these guinea fowl. Got a couple of white ones, some lavenders. They're beautiful. And the gang digs under the fence to get through the fence over to the other side, and they like to go in the greenhouse, which I've locked it up now. But they still, as you can see, they dig under it. I'm going to have to put more mulch down, which they'll just dig up. I'll put some more of those concrete pillars up there so you can't get through the fence. Because they can get out and then they wonder how to get back in. So I open the gate and they run in the gate. But you see, they're just getting right through there. And then one goes through And they all follow. It's like a little gang. So one of them got out. So I definitely have to put some more bricks up there. There's my Bruce, the lovely lady Sheila, and Boomerang. All three of you. It's like the Three Stooges. You get a camera out here going and everybody wants to be famous. You're the silly one, Sheila. You do. You get silly sometimes. Bruce is kind of my baby. He likes to be loved on. He'll come over to get pet, to get held. Yeah, he's usually really... Whoa, now you don't? Is it because the goats are here? Come here. Come here. What's wrong? Come here. Oh, I see. Itty has to butt in. Itty has to butt in. Pan has to butt in. And Frosty. Now Frosty is getting his horns in. That's awesome. That's like a little handle, extra grip. I'm so glad he can grow horns. It's awesome because when I got them, I believe they were disbudded. But the horns are coming in. Now with Pan, his horns are slightly misshapen. They're curved backwards, so I'm going to have to look into doing something so they don't grow into his skull or something. So I'm not very familiar with what to do there, or if there's something I can do. I'm pretty sure there is. So I will look into seeing if they could be filed down or filed in some sort of shape to make sure that they grow in a different direction, or at least I might have to file them so often just to make sure that they don't grow into his skull because they're curving slightly down, and I want to make sure that that doesn't hurt him. So I will look into that and see if there's something we can do. Frosty, like I say, his horns are coming in great. Pretty happy about that because they do like to spar, and I've never had a problem with goats with horns. All my goats have always had horns, and they're like an extra handle, and they don't mind me touching them and rubbing on them, and they have never ever butted anybody with the horns or used them in a mean manner. So far that all worked out for me. Alright, it's time for me to go in. I'll come back out later tonight when it gets dark to make sure everybody's safe and sound.